Texas. A snowstorm and extreme weather conditions are leading to an avalanche of problems. In addition to the power going out, the water pipes froze and then cracked open, leaving millions without access to running water.
Not outside, in here. Don't go outside, it's too cold.
Those who still have water are now being told it is not safe to drink or shower with. This is starting to sound like third world conditions. It can't be happening in the USA, right? Well, actually it can. U.S. infrastructure has been in decay for quite some time.
We've got some older houses, some older apartment complexes that were built using PVC 20, 30 years ago. It is kind of a cold slap in the face, if you want to call it that this is happening. Normally, LFD would go out to a place like this that's had a busted pipeline, and they would help get the water out of the building, run the fans, to try and dry the place out. But again, in this case, because they have so many calls, they're not able to do that.
This did not start in Texas. In 2014, you had the Flint water crisis, when the city in Michigan switched from the Detroit water system to getting its water supply from the Flint River. But lead in the aging pipes soon leaked into the water supply, causing serious problems for locals. It took 5 years for the complaints to be listened to and the locals' problems to be addressed.
Inexplicable and inexcusable. Families weren't notified. Things weren't shut down. That shouldn't happen anywhere.
President Obama took a sip of Flint's filtered tap water, assuring the people there that he cares.
I've got your back.
Several months ago on the campaign trail, we heard Joe Biden promise that nothing like the Flint water crisis would ever happen again.
We're going to create local jobs, to rebuild roads, to modernize infrastructure so you can turn on the faucet and clean water comes out. And when that happened in Flint, will never happen again anywhere in America.
Now, Biden's only been in office for a few weeks. However, plenty of presidents in recent U.S. history have been promising to fix up the country's infrastructure, only to preside over it getting worse.
I want us to be first when it comes to infrastructure around the world, because businesses are going to come where there's good infrastructure to move businesses, move people, move services.
Highways, bridges, tunnels, airports, schools, hospitals. We're going to rebuild our infrastructure.
Texas is suffering today. Flint suffered back in 2014, and many can recall how in 2012, Manhattan's power station exploded during Hurricane Sandy, causing all kinds of blackouts. Officials are scrambling to manage the situation in Texas. Biden has declared a state of emergency. But the underlying question is, when will the promises be kept? Caleb Maupin.
Shalom. First and foremost, all praises and all glory and honor goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone. Rule well. Salutations to the hopefully elect out there pushing this word in true sincerity and indeed. Shabrak Kapatazar from the Great Millstone Chicago branch, coming at you with another lesson. This lesson is going to be inspired by the infrastructure problem here in America. All right. It's never been addressed. Okay. One of the main one of the main indicators of the fall of an empire is when their infrastructure is weakened and not updated and not kept up. All right. If you can't afford to keep up your infrastructure, you really can't afford to do anything else. That means that all of your resources and your finance have been going to things not beneficial to keep your empire afloat. All right. And abreast with the rest of the world. OK, the same thing happened in Rome. All right. Their roads, their bridges began to decay because what? The money was all put towards the military. All right. And soldiers and occupying different lands. That's where all their money went to. So then what happened? Rome collapsed from the inside out. All right. Among a slew of other factors. OK, but this was one of the main telltale signs that Rome was through. And just like you have now, this is one of the telltale signs, man, that America's through. OK, you got America is suffering from first world conditions. Not first world, third world conditions. This is supposed to be a first world country. All right. This is supposed to be the leader of the free world. All right. But in the event of natural disaster, people are now suffering in third world conditions. Okay. And it just goes to show you, man, that this place is through. Okay. It's not as well off as most people would think it is. Okay. America is not doing well at all. It's actually falling behind with the rest of the superpowers, all right, and the other nations around the world as far as technology, infrastructure, finance. Okay. The only thing keeping them up is the military. All right. But even that's being exposed. All right. Because of the immorality. All right. That goes on. All right. All in the name of inclusiveness and diversity. You know, hint, hint. This is why even the military has been weakened. OK, let's get a few scriptures. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right. And this is talking about Lucifer. All right. The light bearer. All right. In the form of the so-called white man. OK. All right. His American dream has become a nightmare, a complete facade. OK. And it's exposed. It says, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. Right. Their pride. OK. They were, man, like it says in Revelation, his look was more stout than his fellows. All right. America was number one for the longest. But now that pomp, that pride, you know, that ego is being brought down. It says, in the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And that worm it signals decay. You know, it means the decay of your infrastructure is being shown. You know, you see just how delicate the grid and the infrastructure is. All it takes is one natural disaster, man. And people are scrambling out here, you know, especially in Texas. You know, and it doesn't look like it's going to be able to be fixed overnight. But, you know, this is the same country that, again, they put millions and billions and trillions of dollars in everything else, you know, except for the things that matter the most. And people are seeing that, man. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. Yahweh have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work whereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, man. So no matter where you turn, America is making the wrong decisions. All right. The America's priorities are completely out of whack because what? You have the base man of the earth running things here. OK, so everything is through, man. All right. And these citizens are going to wake up. And they're going to take out all of their anger and frustration. They're going to take it out on their politicians, man. All right. They're going to turn on these people. All right. Because they just showed you Ted Cruz, the governor. He got up out of there, man. He got up out of Texas, man, when shit got hard. You know, leaving his fellow citizens behind, man, to sink or swim. And that's where we're at, you know. So I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakak Wadash, Shalom, and Abba Ball.